Howdy ho, guys and gals, it's Red, your friendly neighborhood tool bear, back again here in the Den of Tools, and today we're talking about a tool line I thought we would never have to talk about again, and yeah, that's Porter Cable. They're in the news. Can you believe it? Because I'm stunned, just stunned that we're talking about this. So real quick, Porter Cable, of course, they're an old school name, one of the big standbys for years. That was up until, it was 2009 when Stanley Works, before they came Stanley, I guess they're merging with Stanley Black& Decker, and they bought, they bought Porter Cable of all things. Don't ask me why. And they retooled Porter Cable in some terrible ways, but they came out with this cordless line that was supposed to compete as a Goldilocks zone between their Black & Decker and the DeWalt line. It was supposed to compete directly with Rigid, become this kind of middle of the road one that everyone could really appreciate. And it, in my mind, it just never, and a lot of people actually, it just never really amounted to much. In fact, it was so bad, this is their news page, that in 2017 was the last time they announced a new cordless hand tool. That's 5 years ago, folks. 5 years ago. They came out with the double battery pack thing. That was kind of cool. This little tile saw, that was kind of cool. But the only, look at that was 2018. No news whatsoever for 3 years up until 2021. 4 years. They had no news until they announced that, guess what? They got kicked out of Lowe's. Got home, the door was locked, and there was an eviction notice, and so they had to find a new home over at Tractor Supply. Now, I love Tractor Supply, a lot of us do, so we were a little sad to hear that they were the new official cordless tool over there, but oh my gosh, something happened. There's new Porter Cable tools at Tractor Supply. Tools that aren't even on Porter Cable's website. I kid you not. The only place you're going to see this is at Tractor Supply. I'll put a link to this down below, and you can check it out. This is a new Porter Cable brushless grinder in the 20-volt system. Takes the same batteries, does everything else. Free standard shipping. You can order it now, add it to cart. Look at that. That is a brushless brand new tool in lovely Porter Cable gray. Anyway, that's not the only one. Look at this. We got a brushless recip saw. We got a brushless circ saw, a full-size 7 1/4 brushless circ saw. It gets better. Check this out. There's a ratchet. There's now a ratchet in the Porter Cable system. It's not brushless, but it's a ratchet. It's a 3/8 20-volt cordless ratchet. And check this out. How would you believe this? How about a mid-torque impact wrench in a reasonable size, unlike most? Look at this. This is your typical Porter Cable cordless. Look at this torpedo of an impact wrench and this corded one. They're ridiculous. Look at this thing. It looks fantastic. Now, I was like stunned. I'm like, I can't believe they came out with new power tools. No, I didn't believe that for a hot second. Yes, they did have power tools. Yes, they are new for Porter Cable, but they're not new tools. They don't call me the tool bear for nothing. Come on, when Porter Cable got kicked to the curb and Stanley Black & Decker bought Craftsman, they needed to come out with a whole bunch of stuff real quick. So what did they do? They took a ton of those Porter Cable tools. This is their folding miter saw, the Porter Cable on the right, and they painted them Craftsman red on the left. They did this with a whole line of tools, and suddenly Lowe's got just shovelware. We call it shovelware in the software business. They got shoveled all these quote-unquote new tools that everyone knew they weren't new. They were Porter Cable in Craftsman red. And they stayed that way for a while until they could finally come out with some of the Craftsman stuff on their own. Well, I looked, the second I saw these Porter Cable tools, I'm like, that looks really familiar. How familiar does it? They're doing the opposite. This is hilarious if you think about it, because they used Porter Cable to cover for Craftsman when Craftsman needed to get tools out and they didn't have their own tool line. And now they're flipping the script, and Craftsman is now covering for Porter Cable. These grinders are 95, probably 90, all the important parts are exactly the same. Because, okay, the battery is going to be different. They're different batteries, and it looks like to be a different angle. Like the Craftsman looks like it's completely vertical. There's a little bit of an angle on the Porter Cable. I like that. I think I'd like that better. The grip, honestly, on the Porter cable looks better than the Craftsman to me. It has more over molding all the way around. But where the rubber meets the road is at the head of a grinder. And if you look at it, look where the grinder holes, look at the vents, look at the button. They're exactly the same. The arrow, everything on this thing. This is an identical piece of machinery, and that's not the only one. All of these are. We look at the impact wrenches. We look at the even the ratchets. And if you thought, hey, maybe I'm getting a downgraded DeWalt here, no such luck. These are not DeWalt tools that have been stepped down to be Craftsman and Porter cable. These are Craftsman tools that are just being sheathed in Porter cable gray. That's just all there is to it. Now, take it for what it's worth. That's not a terrible thing if you're already stuck in the Porter cable line. If you're like, I'm here and I can't get out, I'm fully invested, I don't want to buy another line. Well, this is awesome news because now you've got, was it 1, 2, 3, 5 new tools. And could there be more? I don't know, because they're clearly copying the V20 RP line here, the new line of brushless that replaced the older brushless for Craftsman. So could there be a new drill driver, a new impact, a new multi-tool? That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Maybe even a new jigsaw there. There's a lot of great stuff. I mean, and who knows, maybe even a 3/8 impact as well. There's tons of great stuff out there in that line. Now, as far as pricing, let's look at pricing. If we look at the Porter cable there, it's $119, and the Craftsman's $119. We look at the recip, it's $129, $129, $129, $129. So what we're seeing is there's nothing new here. All right, this is this is literally just the Craftsman stuff being branded as Porter cable. I've been razzing Porter cable so long over on Instagram about coming out with new tools. Maybe after 5 years and banning me, they finally decided to get around to do something about it. And that's fantastic, and I'm happy for them. But would I say buy into the Porter cable line now? Oh no, 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 no! Don't do that. You don't want to do that. If you're in the Porter cable line, this is, they're throwing you, a rope and trying to pull you to safety and let you have a little bit of breathing room. That's great. But this is not yet enough for me, especially considering they're just copies of the Craftsman, and you can only get them at Tractor Supply. So anyway, that's all the Bear has for you today. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.